Do you look at this business as a sport? Are you kind of like, yeah, I don't really, I'm just doing my thing. I'm at a different phase. Or do you sit there and say, listen, that guy has something. This guy has something. That guy has this. Do you look at talent in a different way? Or are you just like, nah, I'm just going to go do my thing?
Well, I admire people who are skilled at what they do, number one. So if you're good at what you do, I admire you. Number two, I take my profession seriously. I want to do good work. And to this day, I have a younger staff now, but they're like the Navy SEALs.
I'm asking a different question, though. And I really want to see what you say about this because, when it comes onto a topic like this, you have real inventory for this part. Here's what I'm asking. So you ever seen a movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Okay, so Billy Beane is the main guy.
Yes.
In the history of me bringing speakers to events and paying them, Billy Beane is the only guy I've paid to bring him 3 times. And he has a caveat. He doesn't want no camera on. He says, Pat, I'll come. I just don't want cameras on. Doesn't like the camera. Like, the way he is in a movie, doesn't like the camera, doesn't want to be recorded. So I bring him and I said, so Billy, what do they call a 4-tool player? What is the phrase they use in baseball when you can throw, you can run, you can hit, there's 5-tool or something like that.
Player, yeah,
5-tool player, right? Is there such a thing of that in your space where, you're different than Rush, than Beck, than Tucker, than Megan, than this, than that, than this? Is there a pattern to say, here's what I can tell you. Any of the guys that make it to the top and they become number one, they have these 3-4 things. Is there anything that you've seen?
I think that the key to massive success is authenticity. All right? And you can be authentic, but not everybody is the same. So the authenticity changes based upon the person's personality. So I'm a lot different, my upbringing, than somebody who was raised in Harlem, some African American. I don't know that experience. I can't, but that person brings that authenticity. Stephen A. Smith's a good example of that. So he brings an authenticity based upon his upbringing, and I do the same. So authenticity spreads out over a wide spectrum, but I can see it. I have a gift of seeing the phonies, the contrived people telling you what you want to hear, a lot of those now, compared to the genuine people. And I gravitate toward the genuine.
Okay, so authenticity is one. What else would you say? Remember, to be a potential of a bill, I'm talking face, I'm talking number one. There's got to be some patterns because I think authenticity is one.
Right.
What else would you put?
Well, you have to understand who your audience is and what the audience expectation is. You don't pander to the audience. That's a mistake. Don't tell them what they want to hear. But you have to understand who they are. So the reason I've had 19 number one New York Times bestsellers, and I don't know if the Times is real thrilled about that, is because I know my reader. They don't want an 800-page bio on Calvin Coolidge. They want me to get to the point, tell them stuff they don't know in a flamboyant, fun way. That is the formula. And we deliver on that. We are not ponderous. We are not condescending. We don't think we're better than anyone else. And that's where my success is rooted, understanding the audience that gravitates to me.
So that's 2 so far. I want a third. Okay, I'm going to extract this from you. Number 1, authenticity. 2, who your audience is. Don't pander. Get to the point. Like, let's go. If you're the guy, like, let's go.
Right.
Flamboyant way, like your sensational way.
Right.
Not condescending. Give me a third. What else is it when you look at these guys?
Perhaps
the Rushes.
I'm going to give you perhaps the most important one.
What's that?
Discipline.
Unpack that.
You have to be disciplined. I mean, I know my craft from top to bottom. When I interview somebody, I prepare. I know who they are. I know what they've done. When I write a sentence, I go over it 4 times and see if I can write it any better.
Shit.
When I do my commentary, and I don't use a teleprompter anymore. I use the teleprompter at Fox because we had to hit the spots and all of that. Now on the No Spin News, my TV broadcast, which is available almost everywhere now, YouTube, but we live at BillO'Reilly.com. I don't use a teleprompter. I just know the subject that I'm speaking about so I can talk as I'm talking to you, Patrick, extemporaneously. Okay, if you can develop that discipline, then in any field, not the media, any field. I mean, look at this guy, Ohtani, this Japanese baseball player.
Crazy.
Right. He has natural God-given ability.
Sure.
But this guy, and he's a young guy, has disciplined himself to do everything, to field, to pitch, to bat, to steal bases.
To gamble. I mean, it's a lot of different things.
And that, he makes it look easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yep. And he got 10 RBI. By the way, my son was at the game yesterday.
Right.
Tom is like, hey, Pat, you mind if we take your oldest son to the game? I'm like, yeah, go for it. He doesn't like baseball. He comes home last night. I'm like, do you realize what game you were at? He said, right next to Ohtani's mom. Do you know where you're? Yeah. How was it? I guess I was at a historic. I'm like, no, that's not a historic game, buddy. It's 50 guy, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. If you love baseball, that's the game to be at. They win 20-4. And I kind of like what the Marlins head coach said. Did you hear what the skipper said from the other side yesterday?
No, what did he say?
I love what he said. They said, so why'd you pitch to him? And they close up the camera on his face, and he says, F it. Pitch to him. Pitch it. There's no way we're going to not pitch to him, right? And just kind of walk. And so why'd you do that? Can you? This is the scene right here when he says that. Is this it, Rob? When he?
Yep.
Yeah, he says. Yeah.
He said, blank that.
Blank that. F that. Pitch to him, right? And then they ask him after the game. They say, so why'd you let your pitcher pitch to him? He says, it's bad juju to not do that. This is baseball, okay? You don't just run away from it. You pitch to the guy. So I get it.
Right.
But listen, you lost 20-4.
But I mean, I might make a counter argument to him. Like, you don't want to run into the machine gun. If you can go around the machine gun, that might be good.
For fans, I'm sure as a fan, I don't mind seeing that because I want to see that happen.
Marlins got nothing to lose.
No,
right?
they got nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah, and I just like the answer that he gave. So, okay, so we have authenticity, who your audience is, discipline. My pastor in L.A., Dudley Rutherford, one day he married my wife and I. We changed our wedding date from Saturday to Friday to just have this guy marry us. Absolutely love this guy. One of the best human beings I've met in my life. Funny guy, just a great guy. I go to his office and I said, what is all these yellow folders? He says, what do you mean? I said, what is all this stuff? He says, every sermon I've ever given in my life the last 35 years, I've written every one of them. I said, get out of here. Bill, he would go like this. He would read the sentence and then boom, next. Every sermon he's ever given, he wrote. You and him, when I hear that kind of stuff, it's not my style. I'm sitting there saying, you want me to give every single thing? So a guy like you is not duplicative. It's not a lot of guys that, find like a guy like you. This is the USA gear, limited edition for the rest of the year. If you love America, sport this USA gear. On the side, it says Future Looks Bright. On the back, it says Valuetainment. On the side, it's got the American flag. We got the shirts. We got the flip-flops. These are the only flip-flops I wear when I'm at the house and walking the dogs. It feels amazing with the gel in it. So if you love America, if you believe the future looks bright, if you love Valuetainment, click on the link above or below. Go wear some of the gear and tag us because we share the pictures on the podcast all the time. So go to vtmerch.com and place your order.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.